Hi, everyone. This is your host, Kristen Howe, and I am so excited to welcome you to our call with today's guest, Britta Dubbels. Britta is an intuitive, channel, and light ambassador who has assisted thousands of clients transition through challenging life circumstances to embrace change and live more empowered, compassionate lives. Britta sees and feels information in the form of energy or light, which is our true essence. Now, she was born in Germany and was whisked to New York City when she was only 17 to work with the prestigious Ford agency. Following years of gracing magazine covers worldwide, Britta was eventually called to develop her innate gifts as a channel of light information. Now, fueled by a deep connection and love for people, Britta now runs a thriving practice where she works with people around the world. And her clients include many famous names from the worlds of fitness, beauty, wellness, and publishing. She also writes and produces transformational media for all platforms, including books, audios, and video programs. And you, by the way, are going to love her energy. I've just been speaking with her, and she is fantastic. Now, on today's call with Britta, you will discover the gap between your human self and your soul truth and how to bridge it. You'll find out how to recognize and welcome human hang-ups and limitations. You'll be given some techniques to joyously release unsupportive energetic blocks and external attachments. You'll find out how trusting and following your infinite truth can help you manifest your highest and greatest abundance. You'll discover ways to attract other soul-guided and light energy-aware humans into your energy field, and Britta will guide us through a powerful vibration activation designed to connect you with your infinite power source and illuminate your blueprint so that you may live your fullest life imaginable. I can't wait for this call, Britta. I'm so excited to have you here today. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Wow, what a great introduction. Thank you so much, Kristen.
So excited. So what I'd love to have you do is, can you start off by sharing a little bit of your story and maybe even, really shedding some light on some of the major turning points that have allowed you to manifest your current level of success?
Yes, it would be my pleasure. I really feel that my journey has been taking me full circle at this point. Because my life started out with me having the abilities to be able to see the other side, to be able to communicate with the other side. So that already had me feel like I was different, like I was strange. I felt like I didn't fit in. And so at some point, I realized that my grandmother could see, and so she really took me under her wings, and she confirmed to me that it was okay, and it was something that was a good thing. And so from there, I still, at that point, I didn't know, but I still experienced the human programming that I was meant to receive. So, of course, I received that I'm not good enough. I'm not lovable enough. I felt angry toward my family, toward my parents. And as I became a teenager, my life shifted me. And it was already a part of my process of what I had to learn. I got shifted into modeling. And I always knew something would take me out of my small town. I never knew exactly what it would be, but I felt and I knew something was going to take me into a new direction. So it was really that allowing, letting it happen, which I did. As I was then entering the modeling world, a whole different part of my life began, and it really was all about the ego. And I really allowed myself, because I still had all that anger and resentment toward my family, and I was so young, and I was just like me, myself, and I, and traveling, and got really engulfed in that superficial life, superficial world. Right? And that then at some point ended radically. And again, it was spirit. It was my higher self. It was, my support team saying, okay, enough with this. Time to get you back onto the next part of your journey. And so this is when I had lost all the money I'd made. I had trusted somebody with it. and everything was gone and the bookings stopped coming. And I really felt in that moment that, okay, even though in my mind, mentally, I wanted to continue and I wanted to still work in the modeling world and it was my identity, again, deep down inside, in my guidance, I knew, okay, I got to let go. I got to surrender. I got to trust. And I did. And so that's when I got guided to now move to Los Angeles from New York. And once I arrived in Los Angeles, everything changed. So it was really this understanding that, okay, you got to let go with it, and everything will be brought to you, right? So I was in Los Angeles, and of course it was not an easy time. Transition times are never easy times, but it was such a rich time because I really, besides going back to school and studying different modalities to put my innate gifts into the right place, I also was working on myself, on my own healing. And I had to really go deep into that healing. And I learned so much about the reprogramming, about the ego, about the subconscious, about how it's all interconnected into our human experience. And so that was priceless because it gives me such clarity today. And this is also why the people I work with are really able to relate to me, because they understand that I've been there, done that. So, and that really allows that equal playing ground of we're all the same. We're all here together. Right.
Yeah. I want to bring up something that you said because I'm thrilled that you said it, which is, it was a difficult time. Transition times are difficult. And here's why I want to bring that up. I think that there is this perception, this sort of mass perception that when you start to, answer your soul's calling, so to speak, or your soul's truth, that then it's like, oh, everything just falls into place, which things might fall into place, but it still is difficult because it's growing pains. Would you agree with that?
I am so happy you're saying this. I've got chills all over my body. Yes, absolutely. It's so the truth, Kristen, because yes, it's the growing pains and it's the identity shift. And also what we don't really know prior is that any and all of that which doesn't serve us anymore, all of that what doesn't fit is going to get taken away. Right? And so there is like this shaken loose, mentally, emotionally, physically, like, inside and out, where really it's just hold on, buckle your seatbelts and just let go, let it happen. That's really the time when we want to practice trust the most, right? Because our egos, our minds, our beliefs are still wanting to hold on to the old concepts, to the old realities, to the old attachments, right?
Right. So is that the difference? I know you talk about our human self and our soul truth. Is this what we're starting to talk about here?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So how do we bridge that gap? Because I think that's the thing that feels so, scary to people. They want to bridge the gap, but they're terrified of it. So how do we start doing that?
Yes. Well, first of all, it's that first step onto the path, right? So we begin to say, all right, this is really where I feel guided, where I feel drawn to go into, right? We all, at some point, every listener on this call, everybody has had this moment, right? This awareness, okay, this is what I'm doing. And so then as we then walk down that path and we experience all these changes and things changing and ourselves adjusting to the changes, the most important thing that will help bridge that gap is to practice clarity of mind. Every spiritual teacher, every avatar who has walked this earth has confirmed the same truth. We must master our minds. And so in order to practice clarity of mind, we want to remember the breath. We want to remember that old thought patterns and old beliefs and old ways of thinking must also be changed and reprogrammed. And when we go through these experiences of change, this is when we want to override the old attachments, the old fears, the old unsupportive ways of worry and what if and shoulda, coulda, woulda. But really come back into the breath and practice that clarity of mind and focus on enforcing the trust that this is a part of it. This is a part of the process. All is well. My mind may not agree with that right now, but that's okay. I'm choosing not to involve my mind in this right now, and I'm choosing to breathe and focus on trusting that all is well. Because deep down inside, we know all is well.
Yeah, you're right. Deep down inside, we do know all is well. And so I love that because it's breathing. And even that, and I am choosing not to involve my mind. I think we forget that we have that power. I think so many of us are living by we're letting our minds rule us, and it's the opposite way. So I love that. Okay, so now you say that we can actually, and this makes me laugh a little bit because it's like, really? You say that we can recognize and welcome human hangups and limitations. Okay, so how do we do that? Because we're used to pretending they don't exist and judging them. So how do we recognize them and welcome them?
Right. So as we all know, the focus wants to be onto ourselves first, right? Because it's always easy to see it in others, right? It's always easy to read others, but it's really all about seeing ourselves and connecting into ourselves, because others are mere reflections of ourselves. And so as we recognize ourselves getting triggered, whenever we get triggered, right, whether it is fear, worry, what if, whether it is I'm not good enough, I can't do this anymore, why me, I never catch a break, right? It could be the whole range. But so whenever we get triggered into this unsupportive, negative sense of what's going on, this is when we are wanting to welcome that, because this is where the rubber meets the road. It's not when everything is flowing and everything is going smoothly and we're having a fabulous day and we're meeting glorious people. No. It's when we are being triggered and when we're having these challenges inside of ourselves that we get to reprogram, that we get to clear more of the old and unsupportive ways, right? So this is really the time when we want to become present, right? We're breath. Anybody who knows me knows I'm super huge on the breath, because we want to become present. And when we're breathing slowly and deeply, we become present. Okay, I'm being triggered right now. Okay, let me shift my mind into, okay, this is a good thing, because I'm on this journey, I'm committed to myself, and this is opportunity right here and right now. It may not feel that way, but I know it is. I know it is. And so from here then, okay, what am I feeling? If you can shift into questions, ask yourself questions. What am I perceiving? What am I feeling? What am I afraid of? What am I judging? Where am I operating out of, right? Go into self-communication. Go into asking yourself questions. It is a very healthy, very supportive, and really awesome way to form a deeper relationship with yourself, right? And then so from here, you will notice results almost immediately, because when you ask questions and when you're present to yourself and you're having a conversation with yourself, you're in charge. This in itself is empowering. This in itself is going to strengthen your spirit. And so from here, you're going to feel that strength and you're going to feel the results so quickly. And very quickly, you will also then realize that, wow, that was really great. And so then when stuff comes up and you get triggered and things happen, you begin to have a whole new attitude about the process. And then you also get to really truly enjoy those days and those weeks and those months when things are flowing and are going your way, because you are going with it from your deep knowing and guidance. That's when you really get to enjoy it.
I love that. Okay, so because even if we're doing this, and correct me if I'm wrong, we're still going to have moments where we're like, oh, I'm running into an energy block, or I'm feeling particularly attached to things outside of myself. So when that happens, what can we do? Because you say that we can joyously release these, unsupportive energetic blocks. You say that we can joyously release external attachments. So how can we do that, release them, and do it with joy? I think that's something I've never heard before, is you can do this with joy.
You can do it with joy, because it's really that shift in perception that you understand that when you are feeling challenged, right? You're encountering a challenge, that this is for you. This is not something that is happening to you. It's happening for you. And again, your mind is going to tell you, oh, that's not true. This is awful. But this is, again, the time when you want to override your mind and say, stop it. Go away. Focus on your breath. I'm not going to listen to you. Stay focused on your breath and remember and recall that this is happening for me. There is more for me now to go into. There's deeper for me to clear. There's deeper for me to release. And just because it doesn't feel comfortable doesn't mean it's bad.
Ooh, say that again.
Just because it doesn't feel comfortable doesn't mean it's bad. Yeah. And so the more, and this is something we'll get to that I want to do with the activation. It's about, feeling through the heart. It's the heart opening. That ultimately, when we can be with the challenge, we're breathing, we're overriding the negative thoughts, and we're feeling whatever we're feeling, the fear, the doubt, the worry, and we're staying open. It turns so wonderfully into, yes, I can do this. Yes, I'm working through it. Yes, I'm taking control of myself and my life. Yes, I am reprogramming myself. And so this is where, very quickly, through that shift in perception, that experience of it being a positive, of it being a joyous experience, because we have been programmed, we have been taught to perceive uncomfortable emotions that it means something bad is going on. We have been trained to escape feeling uncomfortable. And this is one of the most important things we want to shift our perspective on, because when we're back in our essence, when we're back without the body, there is only love. It's only love, pure love. And that's beautiful. But guess what? It's actually really exciting to come into these bodies and to feel the whole range of emotions. It's like salt and pepper. There's the spice of life. And it's not only feeling the range, but it's also being here to taste, smell, hear, feel, right? This is an experience that is over in a blink of an eye. And everything matters, and everything is beautiful, and everything is precious if we shift our perspective into being in charge and being who we really are, because we're not judgment, we're not blame, we're not shame, we're not fear, we're unconditional love. And so we want to embrace and welcome everything from that unconditional and accepting place.
Wow. Yes. That's amazing. Okay. So now I want to get to sort of the real world benefit. Here we are, we're talking about manifesting everything now. And I think one of the things, and I'm just going to play a little bit devil's advocate here, is that people will want to know, that these amazing listeners that we have here, and they are truly fantastic, will want to know is, okay, so you're telling me this, and that makes complete sense, Britta, and I love that. However, I want to know why trusting and following my infinite truth, how is that going to help me manifest my highest and greatest abundance? How is that not just going to feel good, but also show up as, abundance in the physical world, or, me feeling great and not worrying about how I'm going to pay my rent, all of that stuff. So does this tie together? Because I think sometimes people think they're two separate things.
Yes. Oh, what a great question, Kristen. Yay. So great. Well, yes, absolutely. They do tie in together. Really, it's one, right? And so before we came into these incarnations, we set out a plan for ourselves. We made soul contracts with other souls. We set intentions and goals for ourselves that if we only choose love to the highest and greatest good, wow, this is all of that we are going to accomplish in this lifetime. And so this blueprint, let's call it, then got placed into our DNA. This blueprint is already within us. Everything that we set out to accomplish in this lifetime is already within us, a part of us. And it includes us being and having everything, because it is our birthright to be healthy, to be abundant, to be happy, to feel and give love, right? It is our birthright. It is just that the ultimate connection into that is, again, that is the journey. Because when we enter this path, what we really are saying to ourselves is, okay, I'm going to stop looking to the outside to find happiness, to find worth, to find identity, and I'm going to look to find it on my inside. And when we do that, we need to still allow for that process to be a part of the unfoldment. Because let's say the person that we're meant to fall in love with, that soul contract that we've made, right? We need to be at a certain level consciously to be able to match with them vibrationally. Or that big successful enterprise that we're here to run. We still need to release and clear through the old programming in order to be strong enough and have enough self-worth and have enough guts and glory and self-knowing to even be able to radiate in that position. Right? So as we are entering the path, we may have thoughts and ideas of what we want. And that's good. But if that doesn't happen, the key is really to, okay, all right, even though I would like that very much right now, because I feel like I can't go on otherwise, obviously I'm not meant to have it right now. And that's okay, because I trust that I have entered the path of my highest and greatest good. And so if that means going for it and trusting just a little bit longer, because it'll strengthen you even more, and that's how strong you will need to be in order to fit into that spot, in order to fit into that place that you are really meant to be in. See, we are here to be so strong and so brilliant and so powerful that we know we want it, and we know, this is what I'm here to do. But we're so impatient to go through the process and to really focus on the reprogramming, to really focus on clearing the mind, and to really focus on letting go of the wants of the ego, and to really let go of identifying ourselves with anything on the outside, and to allow for everything to then unfold naturally, because that blueprint, the moment we let go and we focus on ourselves and we keep working on clearing ourselves, this is when you speed it up. See, that's the whole point of this. You can speed it up by getting yourself out of the way. And the more you clear yourself, the faster your higher self, the faster your blueprint is able to manifest right in front of your eyes. And all of a sudden, synchronicity will bring to you the right people, will bring to you the right ideas, will bring to you the right inspiration, right? And boom, 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 all of a sudden it's there. And you're like, oh my God, that was so easy.
Right. And we'll start to notice, exactly what you just said, the right people, the right opportunities, the right inspiration. And we'll even know, as you said before, when you clear yourself, when you're, doing all of this, then you have the confidence to move forward and do the right things. And, you're not just attracting the other soul guided and, the right people and all of that. You're actually knowing what to do with that. Is that a good way of putting it?
It's a great way of putting it, Kristen. Yes, because, we can't expect ourselves to take on that huge position in this massive company, for example, when we're still dealing with our old insecurities,
right?
For example, right? Like all that needs to be cleared so you can really own it. So you can really thrive in it. And now you're the leader and now you're guiding people from the right place.
Right.
And
I do know, and I want to bring this up because we were just sort of hinting at it, the fact that once you're doing all of this on yourself, you do start to naturally draw in the right people and other people that are aware of their energy and vibrating at a high frequency and all of that. Because I think, and the reason I want to address this a little more in depth with you and hear more of your thoughts on it and maybe ways we can draw those people to us, is I think a lot of frustration that I hear from our listeners is that they are really, truly taking on, they're in this journey and they're like, yes, I'm doing this. And then they get bogged down by some of the people they're surrounded by who are not on this journey and are not aware of this stuff. And they feel they keep getting pulled down. So talk to me about how we can start to really draw in and attract other people who are like us.
Yes. Such a good point. So, yes, and this is, I think, also very important for me to acknowledge for a moment. Sometimes when we focus on ourselves and on this path, we can feel alone, right? We can feel really alone. And that is also part of the training, also part of the strengthening, right? And so this is when, again, you get to practice. We always get to practice being more and more and more of our true self, right? And so we get to now practice when we feel alone and when we feel misunderstood and isolated and barked down by others. This is when we get to practice unconditional acceptance and compassion of that everybody is at a different place within their consciousness evolution, right? And so we're looking around and we see this planet, and by God, there is so much unconsciousness still going on. But it is also a time where it is being brought to the surface more and more and more for us to not judge it, but for us to send blessings into it. Only love heals. So rather than judging somebody or making them unaware or, why don't you just listen to me, right? Instead of going into that attitude, ask God, source, universe to send blessing, to send light, to send love into that being. Because this is the only thing that will plant seeds, and this is the only thing that will truly assist them in awakening. right? But also, that being said, as we are on our journeys and we're focusing on ourselves and the reprogramming and being clear and being masters of our minds and becoming more and more aware and more conscious, this is when we're open. And so as we are open now, we are naturally, I promise you, you go out there, you will find people everywhere in all walks of life. It's everywhere now. It's so pulsating with it. There is consciousness awakening everywhere. You will be able to find conversation. You will be able to find connection with others, and you will be able to bring to you. This is a universal law, because you're not only energetic, you're also magnetic. So the more you are working on yourself, being in alignment with that brilliance, with that brightness, the more your vibration increases. And so now this is what's going to be brought to you, because you're attracting it, because you're magnetic. And this is also your blueprint unfolding and bringing to you the connections that you are meant to be meeting. And so this is when you're open and you recognize each other. You will look into each other's eyes and you will see each other. You will have a few words of exchange and you will know, okay, all right, this was meant to be. You will just begin to acknowledge it to yourself, maybe to the other person, but it'll become more and more and more very, very clear to you how real this is and how powerful this works.
I love that. And talk to me about this, and I want to have us do the activation very soon. But before we do, I just want to hear your words. We're talking about our aligning with our soul and all of that. And I want to just quickly clarify, because I know that the word origin is very important to you. I mean, the name of your program is Journey into Origin. So is origin the same as us sort of aligning with our soul truth and what we were really, brought here to do? Or is there more to origin that I'm missing in that very small description?
Well, yes, it's definitely aligning with our soul truth. Yes, for sure. But also, origin really is what you, to yourself, by yourself, are connecting with, right? Because some of us like to call it God. Some of us like to call it universe or source or light or consciousness. Some of us prefer to connect into nature as our higher power, right? We all have a different mental concept of it, right? Because many, many people are very shy about the concept of God because of religion and because of their own losses and experiences, for example. And this is why I named it Origin, because we all belong to the same source. We are all extension of that greater power, but it's pure love. It's pure love. It's pure consciousness. It's pure possibility. There is no judgment. There is no blame. There is no shame. There's no guilt in it. So to focus on origin is really the purest form of our essence. And it is our power source. Without our origin, we wouldn't exist, because we are it, because we're a part of it. So, it is really where we want to go to and what we want to work with, because that's where we get our power. That is where we get our strength. That is where we get our brilliance, our wisdom, our truth from. Right? And for us to realize that without it, we cannot evolve, because to just focus on the self and just take the self as separate and individual, and this is it, this is me, that's all I'm going to allow myself to address, it will always leave a sense of incompleteness that then again the ego is going to hook into and try to fulfill on the outside.
Wow. Okay. I love that. So I know what you were planning on doing with us is a vibration activation that is designed to connect us to our infinite power source and illuminate our blueprint. Is that something that we can do right now? I feel like this is the perfect time.
This is the perfect time. Perfect time. You know, I do want to just say one more quick thing. I also feel that it's important for us to acknowledge that some people have a little bit of a resistance inside of themselves to really let go, to really surrender. Who am I going to be? What am I going to do? What am I going to be like? I don't really want to lose myself. I don't really not want to be me, right?
Right.
So when we let go into our essence and connect with our soul and open up into our blueprint and our highest, greatest good for being here, it will magnify, it will illuminate from the inside out your positive, most positive and adorable and amazing talents and characteristics and personality traits, because we are here to be colorful and we're here to be unique and we're here in this human experience, and it's not about escaping the humanness. As a matter of fact, it is the exact opposite. It is about bringing more of us into the humanness so we can then from there really truly be who we really are, without insecurities, without judgments, without hang-ups, and really allow ourselves to be human and to be amongst this human experience. And there's so much to sample from, and there's so much to enjoy and experience within it. That I think is a very important point. It's not about getting out of the humanness. On the contrary, it's you becoming much more human in a way, because you're almost like allowing yourself to really enjoy it.
Yeah, I love that. I'm glad you brought that up, because I think that's a good thing to have us rolling around in ourselves, you know, the truth of that, because I think it's really, really powerful. Fantastic. So yes, if we can go through this, that would be amazing. I can't wait.
Okay, good. So I invite you to let go and begin to focus onto your breath and see if you can just let go of your thoughts and shift your focus into the breath, and let the breath take you all the way down into the bottom of your belly, or as deeply as you are able to comfortably reach the air, and see if you can make the inhale as well as the exhale slow, perhaps even the same length of time, and really be with your breath. Good. And so as you are staying focused onto your breath, it's okay if thoughts come in and distract you. Just notice that and then let the thoughts go again. Focus right back onto your breath. Good. And so from here, in your mind's eye, go ahead and open up. Visualize, imagine, or make believe that you're opening up through the top of your head, through your crown chakra. And just about 2 to 3 feet above the top of your head is an access, is your power source plug, your origin. Again, whether you connect into nature, whether you connect into God, whether you connect into angels, whether you connect into the universe, whether you connect into energy, whatever works for you. The point of this is that origin is right here. You don't need to travel light years to get to it. Bring it close. We are all now receiving great amounts of support. So bring it really close, right here to the top of your head. Always there, always ready for you to plug into it. And it's 100% love, support, and strength, and brilliant, brilliant compassion. And so then go ahead and with every deep bottom of the belly breath, go ahead and plug into it. Open up into it. Trust it is pure brilliance, love, and light. And then from here, begin to receive it in. And with every breath, as we're running it through you, go ahead and allow yourself to feel your belonging with it. Feel your oneness with it. Acknowledge that, yes, you are this brilliance. You are this truth. You are this authentic empowerment. You have and are everything already. Feel that truth and fill yourself up with it. Allow for this beautiful, bright light to fill up every cell, to fill up every muscle, aligning yourself energetically, vibrationally, running it through your entire body, and so becoming it. Really being it. It's almost as if you are wearing a human skin costume. You are here playing the role of a human in the awareness of your true origin, your true essence self. And as you have filled yourself up with the real you, with the true you, go ahead and open up through the soles of your feet and let it move through, let it run through and grow roots. Root yourself as origin. Root yourself as authentic empowerment. Root yourself as strength and clarity and compassion and laughter and brilliance within this body, within this human experience, into Mother Earth. Breathe and let it flow. Let it flow through you. It's almost as if you're taking an energetic internal shower. Letting go. Letting go of all of that which doesn't serve you anymore. Releasing it, letting it go with blessings, with love. Good. And from here, go ahead and open up those roots and simultaneously receive in Earth. Because Mother Earth is also, just like you and I, a soul, a being incarnated, just a different body, a much bigger body, but also pure love and light. So go ahead and receive in Earth simultaneously. And take a few moments to really feel your belonging, your oneness, but also your stability within this place of connection. Energy always wants to be in motion. Yet another reason to remember the breath, because when you're breathing, you are promoting your energy to be flowing. Letting it flow, letting it circulate through you, shifting, clearing, reprogramming yourself in that this is your place of strength. This is your place of empowerment. This is your anchor. This is the permanent. This is the only permanent. And from this place of permanence, you open your eyes and you fill it outward into your aura. Fill it into your outer bodies. And the outer bodies are as far out as your arms reach. as well as above the top of your head and below your feet, all around, front, back, sides. So now you're holding your space. Now you're being present to your space, in your place of permanence, in your place of belonging and strength and wholeness. Energies are still flowing. You're consciously breathing. From here now, let's go ahead and let's open up our hearts. And deep breaths. Opening up the heart. And if there is a feeling of sensitivity or vulnerability, that's okay. Breathe. You're safe. You're in your place of strength. You're in your place of belonging. You're in your place of truth and authentic empowerment. You can afford to maintain an open heart. Open doesn't mean available. It means you are open to see, sense, feel, know the truth behind people's words, behind people's actions. You can sense their intentions. And again, unconditionally, but oh so wise, oh so open, oh so empowered. And so from this place of an open heart and clear and strong belonging and permanence within yourself, you also clearly see where everybody else is at, that they're still struggling with certain areas, with certain perceptions, with certain habits, certain behaviors. And from this place of strength and belonging and permanence, there is no more need to take anything personal. Because it never is. It never is. They are just operating out of their pain, their disconnect, their unconsciousness. That's all they know. So you can now clear yourself from reacting to it by connecting right back into this place of strength and brilliance and belonging and wholeness and permanence. As you are breathing and as you are so joyously embracing yourself in this empowerment that you are free and safe and courageous to breathe through any trigger that you may encounter, because there may still be a trigger here or there where you want to take things personal. And in that moment, you're able to say, no. I'm going to breathe right through it. I'm going to let it go. And I'm going to look into myself and see why I wanted to take it personal. Am I still looking to identify myself through the outside? Am I still looking to give myself worth from a person or a position or a car? And then you can say to yourself, no, I'm going to let that go now, because it's not the truth, because I'm here for much bigger, much better, much more. And I am willing and able and open to receive it now. I am welcoming my abundance. I am welcoming my love. I am welcoming my health. I am welcoming all the blessings that I have already planned for myself to receive. And from here, we're going to bring in yet another set of vibration to set you in this place of strength and belonging and wholeness and empowerment and clarity, and take in a few more deep breaths and open up your heart. And you may even feel this in your hearts for a moment. releasing the old story, recognizing the untruth, embracing your blessing, and so it is, and so it be. Amen.
Wow, wow, wow. That was amazing.
Oh, good.
I feel so connected and powerful and almost beyond words, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Does that make sense? But in a powerful and good way, being beyond words, it's almost like it's a relief a little bit because it just feels purely instinctual now.
Yes, yes, yes. And Kristen, it is a state of being. It is a place of being. Thoughts and words are human, and we can try to explain it. We can try to share with others or ourselves how it actually feels, but really in truth, it's a feeling. It's an experience. And so this is really what every single one of you wants to keep in your memory, in your cellular, in your mental, in your emotional, in your heart's memory. This place of belonging, this place of strength and empowerment, it's an experience. And when you're in this place, you can communicate anything. You can voice yourself. You can speak your truth. You can make your decisions and really function within this human world from a place of such strength, because it is the only strength. Anything else really is just bogus.
Yeah, I can feel how this would be absolutely key in getting tapped into this sort of state of being to absolutely, first of all, manifesting internal joy and peace, and also to manifesting the external stuff that comes with that, the expression of our true self. So I can feel how being in this state is absolutely essential to that. And actually, that brings up a good question. I'd love to know, do you have a few stories that you can share with us, success stories of people who have worked with what you're doing here and experienced turnarounds, just so that we can see what's possible for us?
Yes, it would be my pleasure. Gosh, there are so many. Because I do like to work with transitions, because as we said before, transitions are challenging in so many ways on so many levels. So, for example, this one client came to me, Nikki, and Nikki had lost her job. She had not only lost her job, but she had also lost her health insurance and her sense of security, right? And her sense of purpose and her sense of strength. And, when she came to me, she was really in that place of, I kind of know, I feel that I know that this is a blessing in disguise, but I just don't know what to do. I just don't know how to go about it and how to make it real. And so this is when we began to work and really use this work to clear her from the inside out and to connect her into origin, so she has that power source accessible at any time, right? And that's what I encourage for everybody to do. And remember this plug-in at the top of your head, that origin, and plug into it and let it run through you and ground yourself in it. It's there for you anytime, anywhere. And so Nikki really then took all this information and ran with it, because when we have that moment of, I have no other choice than to go with it, all of a sudden we are able to prove ourselves, right? And really work hard.
Right.
And so she did that, and gosh, she always wanted to be, and this is another very important point actually to address, she's always wanted to have her own schedule and be independent and create her life and her work her way, right? And so we all have that understanding and knowing of what we really always wanted. And so this is when we have opportunity to paint that picture, to fill out that canvas for ourselves. And this is what she then did. She now has a thriving practice where she helps people with their branding, and she has so many clients from all over the world. I mean, she's just got a new client from Australia, and people are happy to pay her so much money because she is so in tune, and she's so real, and she's so communicative, and she's so honest, and she's so authentic, and she's so creative because everything is flowing through her now. I mean, she is the happiest and thriving and excited, and she acknowledges that possibility of that moment in time when she said, I don't know what to do, but I know it's possible.
Wow, I love that.
Right? And then let's see who else is there. Okay, so there was this other client. He was a young man who came to me. And, in the beginning, they all just, come and they're in such desperation and they cry. And he was just crying rivers because the marriage was breaking up, and he was afraid that it's the fear of the unknown, right? Life was going to change forever. He was not going to have his child anymore with him. His now ex-wife was just really challenging. And so he was really fearful. And he was experiencing such deep fear with it because he had experienced a lot of loss in his life. And so that was a big trigger for him now. He was almost rather wanting to hold on to the marriage and stay in it, just not to have to deal with that fear. Just not to have to deal with actually strengthening himself and not letting himself get beat up every day. And so I encouraged him to listen to that small, small, small voice that told him, go for it. Go for it. Yes, you can be stronger. You know that this is wrong. Yes, you can do it. You know that this is not acceptable. And so as he began to listen to that small voice, it grew. The voice becomes stronger and stronger and louder and louder. And so as we were going through the work, and I feel that sometimes men, because they are so mind connected, are having a little bit of a harder time to learn to clear their minds and learn when to think, what to think, and how to think, really. But so he, again, was a prime example of that. When there is no other way to go, all of a sudden we can really do the work quickly when we really focus and commit ourselves. And so he did. He learned, he focused, he practiced. And so now he is not only conscious and living his life to the fullest, he is conscious of eating right. He is involved in the world's evolution in terms of he supports nature and how can we, get back into making and healing our planet. He's in a beautiful relationship. He has a wonderful relationship with his son. And so he travels, but he's also with his son, and they have a wonderful connection. And so his life really has turned into him living everything he always wanted and knew for himself. And now he looks back and he was just like, oh my God, what was I thinking? What was I doing for so long? When we look back at that old comfort zone that we were stuck in for so long. And we were, oh my God, how and why didn't I do it sooner? But everybody at their own time, in their own speed, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, and I love that because it does sound like, people really find you when it is the right time and that you're able to help them shift. And I love that you do focus on the transition period because that is when it gets difficult, that's when a lot of people turn back. And that's what I'm excited about, is to be able to help all of my amazing listeners keep going forward so that they are able to live, the expression of their truest self. So that's why I was so excited to have you on the call. And I asked you to create a special offer, which you very nicely did. So I want to talk about that now. Everyone, I highly encourage you, experience this special offer that Britta has while she talks you through it herself. It's really simple. You can just click the special offer button that's on this page and you'll be taken right there. And Britta, can you let us know what we'll find there?
It would be my pleasure. So this program was channeled by me with the intention of assisting people in bridging their human experiences with their highest calling and their highest plans and goals for themselves. So it's not about us having to live in the Himalayas in a cave for 10 years. On the opposite, right? It's about being in our bodies and really fully owning and embracing who we are, not only in spirit and soul, but also in human, right? And so module 1 is titled Remember. And there are 2 MP3 audios in here. One of them is called Imagine, and this is a hypnotic regression reprogramming session where you get to go back to before you entered your life, and you get to review, see, sense, feel yourself as you are planning for yourself, as you are planning out this lifetime. And it is really about the experience of the excitement, of the enthusiasm that you had before you entered. You knew it wouldn't always be easy. You knew it wouldn't always just be handed to you. You knew you were coming in with purpose and real intention. And so this is a very, very, very powerful one to work with again and again and again. And then the second one is your breath. And as you may have noticed by now, your breath is going to be your new best friend and greatest tool because it's so accessible and so important. And the second module is called Experience Your Truth. Now, this is a very deep, very powerful activation, and it puts into place your connection with origin. It really, on the cellular level, on the DNA level, on every level, from the inside out, is going to set you into that place, which we were doing a little sample session of just earlier in the activation. And again, this one is also one that you want to listen to at night before you go to sleep for, I would say, 21 days. And if you like it, even longer, because the subconscious also learns through repetition. Then we go into module 3, and that is called Open Mind, Open Heart, Open Arms. And this is where we go into opening you up. So again, it's from the inside out. So there are 3 parts to this. The first one is called Open Up Your Senses. And this is an activation where we're going to be working on you opening up your senses and really clearing out and releasing and healing the old judgments that you may be still holding on to, knowingly or unknowingly. There is oftentimes so much that we're still holding on unknowingly, that this is a very important one to work with. And then the second one is called Radical Forgiveness. And Radical Forgiveness is a deep healing, clearing activation where it's not about the other person. It's not about making them right or agreeing. It's about you disconnecting those energetic cords, you letting go for yourself, for your freedom, for your space, for your empowerment, so you can move forward much more freely. The third one is called Resistance Cleanse. And this is a real nice one. If you have a moment, any moment where you feel you're stuck or you feel like, oh, I don't know what to do, this is a great one and a quick one to just listen to and give yourself that cleansing. So you can, use this again and again and again, because, we will hit resistance again. It's just part of the human experience. And then module 4 is called You Are the One, Learn Energy. And I think that this is such a great module, so important, because we are here manifested into this earthly experience in form of energy. And so this module has 4 components to it, and it really teaches you about understanding yourself as energy, and that every time you think unsupportive thoughts, you're blocking your energy flow. Every time you speak or act in an unsupportive or disempowering way, you block your energy, or it becomes denser or stops flowing so freely, which then will hinder your blueprint from unfolding. So to get clear and aware of what and how you feel when you're flowing and when you're not flowing, I think is, that's the new paradigm. And so this is 4 parts. And the first one is called energy awareness. The second one is called responsibility. It's a how-to lesson. The third one is called conscious giving and receiving, which is also very important because most of us have a hard time receiving. And when we give or receive, there is always energy involved. And the fourth one is called how to recognize disempowerment. So this is just, such an important module. Then we get into module 5, feeling power is this one. And again, I love them all. This is another one that's so important, because to truly learn to feel through the open heart with acceptance of that this is opportunity to clear out more of the old drama and trauma that we store in our muscle tissue from old emotional experiences. This is when, for example, when you have that overpowering emotion that just takes over, that is a prime example of what this module is all about. So there are 3 parts to it. The first one is called emotional pockets. The second one is called clearing the mind. And the third one is called strengthening exercise. So in this module, I really take you through and walk you through and practice with you how to clear the mind, how to keep the mind out of the feeling experience, and then how to really all put it together and breathe and feel properly, so you can come out on the other end and feel the clearing and feel the truth of that. Wow, I just cleared myself. It's such an amazing experience. Then module 6 is called Strengths Training Masterclass. And this is wonderful because these are 3 videos. It's 2.5 hours worth of video. This is great for you to watch and listen to. And so I'll be talking about the mind, the emotions, and perfect, beautiful individual you. It's a great tool to have even just running in the background, because it's so important to have that positive reinforcement again and again and again. Then we have module 7, and that is called Shift Beyond Limitation. And this is a book that I have created. It's a 60-page PDF book for you to work with. And this you definitely want to work with at your own pace. But if you're really excited and really committed, throw yourself into it, because the more you know yourself better, the better it is. And not that I am religious in any way, but I love them all. And Jesus said it, know thyself. It is very important for us to know ourselves and to know our programming really, really well, and to embrace it and love it unconditionally, because only love heals. Then we come into module 8, and that is called Have Fun Being a Human Being. And so there are 2 parts to it. And the first one is called How to Have Fun with Your Human Incarnation. And the second one is called Self-Love. And so these are to really powerful and important ones as well, because it's all about being here and being human and practicing that self-love and that self-love for ourselves and being able to live life to the fullest is ultimately our deepest desire. You know, when we ask people on their deathbeds, what do you wish you would have done differently? They never say, I wish I would have worked more or made more money or bought more houses. No. What they say is, I wish I would have lived more. I wish I would have spent more time with my friends and family. I wish I would have enjoyed myself more. So I think it's important for us to always keep in mind and maintain a balance for us to enjoy ourselves and make time for that. And then last but not least, we have module 9, and that is called See Through Your Essence. And this is really another very important one. And there are 3 parts to this. I keep saying this is an important one. They're all so important. So the first part to this is shift into your soul. And this is a very powerful activation where you actually connect into your soul and into the awareness of yourself as the soul that you are. The second one is called Heaven is Here. And that is a manifestation activation where you get to paint the picture, create what you want for yourself, and from a heart's place, from a heart desire, from your truth. And then the third one is called One Love, and that is another activation that's all about the oneness of all of us and the presence to it.
Wow.
And that's my beautiful program for you.
It is absolutely a beautiful program. And actually, I love that you kept saying, you know, this is an important one, because that just speaks to how strongly you believe in what you're doing and feel about it. So I just absolutely love that you kept saying that. Now, let me ask you this. When people on this call start working with this amazing program, what are some of the things that they can expect to start experiencing, you know, right away and very quickly?
Well, the immediate results are going to be a greater sense of self and inner peace, right? And really, really connecting into that trust within and that strength that comes from that almost immediately, that yes, I can, and yes, I am, and yes, this is who I'm here to be. And even though, you know, it may not be here overnight, it's the connection into that and knowing that it's the truth.
Yeah, that's essential. Wow. I mean, that you can't get more important than that. So that's fantastic. That's amazing. Okay, so everyone just click on the special offer button that's on this page and you will go right there. This is a really powerful program, guys. So, you know, if this resonated with you, go check this out, because this is something else, and I'm really excited that we're able to bring this to you. Britta, you've just been amazing. Your energy is fantastic. You gave us so much that we can do already with this call. I love how connected you are with breath, by the way. I'm very passionate about that. And what I love is that, you know, you've taken something that could seem sort of out there and you've made it something that we can apply to our life right now, and helped us to see how essential it is that we do reconnect with and remember our true essence and our true soul. And I'm thrilled with that, because I think that's so, so important. What do you want to send us off with? What thoughts are you like, this is what you need to take with you as you leave this call with me today?
Let's see. Okay, so I hope I've inspired every single one of you to become much more aware of your breath. Remember that you have to find ways to remind yourselves to breathe. You know, just because you're thinking about it now doesn't mean you're going to remember it later, because it's not a part of your programming yet. It's not a part of your norm yet. So you've got to work with it and find ways. I used to put little sticker notes all over my house, reminding myself to breathe. I would go as far as writing it on my hand. Nowadays, we all have cell phones, and so you could even set your cell phone to remind yourself to breathe, right, every hour on the hour. Work with yourself. Just because you forget doesn't mean it's not working. You have to understand that your attitude is your altitude. The more important you make it, the greater your results will be. And nobody can do it for you. You've got to take that breath. You got to find ways to remind yourself and remember to shift into the breath. And then from there, adjust your perspective. Adjust your perspective in that, yes, everything happens for me. It's okay for me to communicate with myself. It's okay for me to ask myself questions, to get deeper and deeper and deeper into knowing me. It's such a worthwhile experience and journey, and I hope you all really enjoy yourselves, even the parts of yourself that you may not always have loved or approved of. It is time to really embrace all of yourself and to give yourself a big unconditional hug, to forgive and let go so you can move forward from the right place in oneness and wholeness within yourself.
I love that. I love that you are helping to empower us to be the most powerful, true version of ourselves. I think that is absolutely phenomenal. So thank you, thank you, thank you so much for everything you've brought to this call.
Oh, it is so my pleasure. And thank you so much, Kristen. You are so wonderful. You are doing such an amazing job. Thank you for doing what you are doing and to deliver this out into the world for people to have and work with. Thank you. And thank you, everybody, for giving your energy and your time.
Yes. And along those lines, thank you so much, everyone who's listening. You are just fantastic, and I love being able to be here with you and sharing amazing people like Britta with you. This is just an absolute joy for me. So thank you all so much for how extraordinary you are. And once again, Britta, thank you. I can't wait till we get to do this again. And until the next time, everyone, keep manifesting. Bye-bye, all.